Once again, it's Barkley. He'll work his way forward for about 3 yards. Nate Hobbs in from his corner spot to make the stop. Second and 7. Hurts will work here from the pistol. A throw there on second down, going to be incomplete.
A rare miss for a quarterback that we've seen really come out on fire throughout this entire contest. I mean, his completion percentage, Mike, is well above league average, and frankly, it's really the biggest reason why they find themselves out in front.
Here's 3rd and 7. Operating from the gun, here's Hurts. That is incomplete. Well read that time defensively, making it difficult downfield, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Well, not exactly breaking news here, Mike. They got speed on the perimeter that just not a lot of teams in the NFL have. So even though that ball falls incomplete, I think they have to continue to do it, continue to pressure this defense and make them defend the entire field. Because as they're worried about him running by them, there is a lot of space open underneath.
And he'll get forward a few yards on the return. And that's where the offense will take over. Jordan Love and the rest of the Packer offense ready for their next possession. The deficit is 5, so they'll try to put a drive together here, and they'll begin it with 1st and 10. Out of the shotgun, it's Love. Little short pass here, caught by his tight end. And they'll get about half of what they needed. It's a pickup of 5 and sets up 2nd and 5. It's the tight end Kraft in motion. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
So after picking up some positive yardage on 1st down, they end up going backwards on 2nd. That sack now brings up 3rd and long, and what most of the time is a very pass-happy situation makes them very one-dimensional.
Work to do following the sack. It is 3rd and long. From the gun, it's Love. Oh, they're on him in a flash, and he's lost the football. The Eagles have it. In the pocket, looking to throw the ball, but the defense was looking right at the ball. They knock it away and come up with the turnover.
Mike, we see so often a quarterback is so focused, keeping his eyes down the field, looking for one of his receivers to work himself free, that they lose track of where the defenders are. And I think that's exactly what happened here. The defender closed on him quicker than he might have thought, knocks the ball loose, creating the takeaway.
After that fumble recovery, a big opportunity here. 1st and goal. Man in motion is Smith. Only a yard there. Tackle made at the 5. Here comes 2nd and goal. Now Hurts going to call his own number. And he's going the wrong way. Dropped back at the 7.
The decision whether to keep the ball or to hand it to the back happens so fast. In this case, the quarterback thinks it was a keep read. The defense was there ready to stop him. Tackle for loss.
Good job so far by the defense protecting the short field. Now it's 3rd and goal. That's to the right side. Caught by Goddard.
I think this is one of those plays that when the ball carrier watches this back in the film room tomorrow, he's going to be a little frustrated with himself. If he could just have made that one guy miss, he picks up the first down. Instead, he gets brought down short of the sticks, and now they got a 4th down decision to make.
He is 2 for 2. That kick is good. And the Eagles add on to their lead.
Yeah, he does a nice job handling that kick there, but I think offensively, you come back to the sideline and you're thinking, we have to find a way to finish these drives. I mean, to be in 1st and goal and settle for 3, that can be very deflating for an offense settling for too many field goals.
And back to work goes Elliott after making the field goal. He'll send this one away. For the return, it's Keyshawn Nixon. And he'll be taken down right at the 29-yard line. Out comes the Green Bay offense now as they get set to take over again. The deficit is 8 as this drive begins with 1st and 10. In motion, Reed. A good play action with Love. And he can't hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. What a good job defensively to meet him just as the ball was arriving. And it'll be 2nd down.
So the defense comes out in a cover 2 shell. And what that means, Mike, is the 2 safeties are going to split the field in half. One guy has one half, and the other guy has the other. There are abilities to get down the middle of the field, especially if you have speed. But really where you can attack it is they don't have enough guys to defend all of the underneath zones. And if you run the right concepts with the right quarterback, you can pick them apart.
Third and 6. Here's Love. Open is Kraft. He's got it. 11 yards on the pass there. 1st down, Packers.
These curl routes, he's been running these routes since he was a young kid in Pop Warner football, and I like to call it pulling the string. You've got the defender thinking you're going downfield, and you stick that foot in the ground, work back to the quarterback, friendly to the ball, and really nice job picking up the 1st down.
In motion, Reed. Off the play fake. Here's Love. That's caught downfield. Dobbs. And he will go all the way. Romeo Dobbs. Touchdown, Packers. And even though it's just the 3rd quarter, he'll try to draw even right here and go for 2. Now Love. He'll swing that out wide, and he will get into the end zone. The 2-point conversion ties this game up.
Mike, I think all of us can remember exactly where we were during a certain Super Bowl where throwing the ball this close to the goal line ended up being a disaster. But unlike that time, they ran this pass play to perfection, and the result, 2 points.
So back to level after the touchdown, and time for the kickoff. This one taken at the 7. Oh, he's got room past the 30. Nice job by the return team as he takes it across the 30-yard line. Saquon Barkley and this Eagle offense set to take over again. And you have to imagine the defense is saying, how do we stop this guy? He has run roughshod through him to this point in the third quarter. Here's 1st and 10. So the drive begins with a give to Johnson. He's fighting to get back to the line of scrimmage, but can't get there. Dropped for the loss of a yard.
Well, they try to get the run game started here early on this drive, Mike, and they're just going to have to do a better job up front. There's really nowhere for this ball carrier to go. You never want to lose yards on 1st down, but that's exactly the case here.
So, 3 quarters now in the books. Back with more Monday Night Football after this. Second and 11. A shotgun snap now to Hurts. Taking a shot downfield for Smith. And he's taken down inside the opponent's 35.
Defensively, you put so much effort about defending the middle of the field. You know that's the valuable real estate every offense is looking to attack. But what does that do, Mike? It makes you a little susceptible to the throws outside the numbers, and it leads to a chunk play.
Here's a handoff to Barkley. He is met and dropped. A couple of yards behind the line of scrimmage, too.
Every team makes an emphasis on winning 1st down, but as a defense, when you're able to take them back for a loss, 2nd and long, you can really become more of a pass-centric defense and really tips the scales into your favor.
A 2nd down throw for Hurts. That's over the middle, complete to Brown. And they'll get about 8 out of that one, but still a little work to do now on 3rd down. A pistol snap back to Hurts. And that is incomplete. Devontae Smith, the intended receiver, and it's going to be 4th down.
And on that 3rd down, they thought an easy way to pick it up and get some positive yards would go to their quick game, but it didn't seem like the receiver and the quarterback were on the same page, and now brings up 4th down.
And this one, right down the middle. It's good. And the Eagles have taken the lead here in the 4th.
And this has been such a tight game, but that's a big one right there. I mean, you need a kicker with confidence. Well, this guy, he fits the bill. He steps up and knocks it through to give his guys a lead here in the 4th quarter.
So they lead by 3 here in this 4th quarter. Now have to turn it over to the defense as they kick it off. He'll work his way across the 25-yard line. The Packers offense and quarterback Jordan Love heading back out there. And this defense might be about ready to wave the white flag. Nothing they have tried to throw at him has been successful. He just processes things so quickly, making the right read seemingly every time. First and 10. Now Love. They go sideline, and he stays in bounds. Got the feet down in time. It's a 1st down. 19 yards right away to kick off this drive.
This is why the timing of these routes is so critical. If that ball is thrown a little bit later, he's unable to keep his feet in bounds, but instead the quarterback is on time and accurate, and the receiver does a nice job not only securing the catch, but ensuring that both feet remain in bounds. I think he just rushed that decision just a little bit downfield. I mean, it's one thing to trust your guy to make a play in tight coverage, but I think if he was a little bit more patient in his progression, there was an easier throw out there that wouldn't make him have to throw such a tight window ball and put his receiver in a tight spot.
They'll run with Jacobs. Only a couple on that one. It'll set up third down. On play action, Love. Nowhere to go. He is taken down.
We're starting to see in these passing situations, Mike, this defensive line is starting to have their way against this group up front because right now, their pass protection is breaking down and his quarterback's paying the price for it.
On comes the Packers punting team. They'll be forced to punt, trailing here in the fourth quarter. But he cannot get away. Great job down there to hold him to a short return. The Eagles offense ready to see what they can do. They lead by a field goal as they go to work with a 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Hurts. Taking off.
Initially, Mike, a really good job by the defense. Nowhere to go with the ball for this quarterback. He's forced to pull it down and turn into a runner. Little slow reaction, and he's able to actually pick up a pretty good gain.
Here's 2nd and 3 to go. Hurts working in the pistol. Pass downfield is caught by Brown. It's a gain of 19 in the air. 1st down, Philadelphia.
Anybody who thought this coach was going to get conservative with this late lead is sadly mistaken, Mike. They're out here still throwing haymakers with this passing game. They're not content with just having the lead. They're looking to increase it.
And that'll be a pickup of 3. They face 2nd down and 7. To throw is Hurts. He finds Jahan Dotson. It's a gain of 10 yards. Good for an Eagles 1st down.
Anytime you're facing a zone defense, you're working from your first progression all the way through. But when guys are open in this level, Mike, they don't stay open very long. So what they taught us as receivers, if you're open, stay open. And if you're not open, you better get open quick because that ball is coming out.
And it's complete to the sideline. Nice job getting both feet down inbounds. Nice chunk here in this good-looking drive. Pickup of 14 and a 1st down.
And if he's late with that throw, Mike, there's a really good chance a defender could have made a play on it. but he does a beautiful job. He puts the ball out in front of his shoulder, leads the receiver, and allows him to get upfield and pick up the first down.
A fresh set of downs to work with. It is first down and 10. Dotson, the man in motion. On first and 10, it's Hurts. That is hauled in at the 5. And he's very close to a touchdown. They mark him just shy of the goal line.
These are the kind of plays that when you draw them up on the chalkboard, Mike, they all look great. But if you can't protect long enough, you're never going to get the receiver. I mean, think, he started on the left side of the formation in the slot, and he has to run all the way across the field to the right third. I mean, that takes a lot of time. Let's give a lot of credit to the big...
And they're going to track him down. He couldn't find a receiver, and down he goes.
I don't hate the play call. The best opportunity to throw the ball down this close to the goal line is usually on first or second down, Mike. The issue here is the quarterback has to know, if my first read is not open, this ball needs to be thrown out the back of the end zone. You cannot take a sack this close to the goal line.
Now from the 7, it's second and goal. A run up the middle with Barkley. And he's going to be taken down, and that will take us to the 2-minute warning. This crowd into it now as we get to third down. Man in motion is Brown. They'll drop to throw. And he will take this one across into the end zone. Jalen Hurts. Touchdown, Philadelphia.
And that's exactly how you stress all week, finishing a game. Get the ball and leave no doubt. But that late touchdown, Mike, that should all but just seal this victory away.
Elliott on now for the PAT. It's up and through. And the Eagles will open it up even further here in this fourth quarter. So following the score, here comes Elliott to kick this one away. Here's Nixon on the return. And he'll be brought down right around the 25-yard line. The Packers offense getting their final instructions before heading back onto the field. And look, they've been out of sorts throughout, Greg. They haven't had any answer for this pass rush all game.
Yeah, and it's really showing up in the sacks and also just in their ability to prevent any yards, any completions. This has just been a dominant pass defense performance here, and everything starts with the rush. The quarterback's uncomfortable. The clock gets sped up. He's got guys in his face. It's a lot easier to play defensive back and in some of these coverage units when you know that ball's got to come out fast, and right now they're teeing off and taking advantage of it.
On first down, it's Love. Off-balance throw. It's complete. The Packers go ahead and use the first of their timeouts, and they'll get together prior to the second down play. Now, faking the give. This one, up top for Dobbs. That ball incomplete. Got the hands in there to break it up. Could have been a big gainer. Instead, it sets up a third down.
You know, there's a fine line between trusting your arm and having a little bit too much faith in your arm, right? I think this was one of those situations here, Mike, where there was nowhere to go with the ball. He tries to fit that one in there anyway, and he's lucky that it just falls incomplete.
And he will have a Packers first down, maybe by about a yard, as they find a way to convert on 3rd and inches.
One of the easiest ways to negate these really good pass rushes in the NFL, Mike, is just to simply get the ball out of the quarterback's hand as fast as possible. And sometimes it's by design, sometimes it's based on need, but really nice job there by the quarterback, getting into the hands of his receiver and then see what he can do after the catch.
That is hot! And they bring him down there, but it is inside the 10. It is going to be 1st and goal. Out of the shotgun, it's Love. And he got rid of that one quickly before the receiver even knew what was going on. That's incomplete.
They couldn't quite connect there on that short pass, Mike, and I just think it's worth reminding everyone how different the concepts are down here in the red zone than what the rest of the game plan calls for in the normal part of the field.
A 2nd down throw for Love. And that one incomplete.
Well defended there. The quarterback's trying to attack this defense outside the numbers. Those really wide angle throws near the sideline sometimes can be very hard to defend, so give a lot of credit to this secondary. They were all on the same page, and the ball falls incomplete.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Love. That is incomplete. And here we go. They're down to what could be their final play. It's 4th down.
Teams practice these situations all week long, Mike. Down here in the tight red zone, you find yourself inside the 10-yard line. You're thinking, we've got to come away with a touchdown. Well, after that 3rd down incomplete, it's going to be real interesting to see how they approach this 4th down after failing on 3rd. It's always a little bit of a letdown, Mike. You find yourself deep in the red zone, and you have to settle for a short field goal like that. In this case, he's able to put it through, and they get 3.
So the field goal makes it a 1-score game. And now they'll line up for the onside kick.
With the rule changes on kickoff, Mike, it's just so hard to really expect to recover an onside kick nowadays. There's a lot of people pushing for kind of a radical change to this. Hey, can we make it 4th and 15? Offense gets the go. If they convert it, they keep the ball. I'm not sure that ever happens, but we can see here an onside kick. Not much of a chance.
The Eagles offense back onto the field for their next possession. They'll have a short field looking to build on the lead. So they come to the line for 1st down and 10. The defense still with all 3 timeouts at their disposal as the quarterback's down to a knee. Lost one on the last play, so now it's 2nd and 11. Victory formation here as he's down to a knee. So it's a win here for the visiting Eagles. This was a game where both offenses were up and down the field, marching the ball at will, matching each other point for point. But in the end, got a few more defensive stops than their opponents did. And that was the difference in this one. So that'll do it for us. For Greg Olson and our terrific team behind the scenes, I'm Mike Tirico. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. Follow us on X at EA Madden NFL. Good night from Lambeau Field.
All right, y'all. I gotta go eat right quick. My mama cooked some food. I'll be right back. The third video is gonna be out tonight. I promise you. See you guys later.